At the recent course that you just delivered in Brighton, UK, at New Paradigm Education, their first centre home, you elected to do as the first weekend workshop an exploration of gender.
Yes.
Which was a subject that you seem to think has got quite confused over time and seems to be one of the primary issues to address.
Yeah.
So what, if you can, summarise that somewhat, could you?
I can try. I find it funny that you've brought that up now, because you asked earlier about where I thought humanity should most direct its attention, and I talked about the linguistic paradigm. I had two answers in my head there, and they were pipped at the post as to which one I wanted to say. The other one was gender. The first was the linguistic paradigm. That is the one that, yes, I believe needs healing. But the gender issue and the gender crisis that we're in is of massive, massive proportions, epic proportions. I believe it's the biggest issue that we face is to do with our capacity to relate with our partners and with each other. The problem with it being that the understanding of what gender is and how gender plays out and how it manifests in the sexes, where sex and gender are not the same thing. I think this is where massive confusion has arisen. I think the fostering of a gender war or a sexist battle of some way, in some form over the last century, has done untold damage to our species, and we're still going to be dealing with the ripple effects of that for quite a long time as we each seek to re-establish gender stability within ourselves.
So for you, there's a difference between sexuality and gender?
Yeah, gender is not the same as sexuality. I'll tell you how to get the gender. Here's the way I explain the gender thing, because it's not about manifest sex, because we were given this idea, or everybody, people I know have had this experience where anybody who's had any sort of insight into spiritual or religious truths will conclude that everybody has a soul, or everybody has a higher self, or everybody has an energetic pre-existence in some way, and that is whole and complete. And that somehow, when we come here, as it were, that we manifest as half of the gender whole in a way. So we have a concept that Toltecs refer to as the splitting of the sexes, which is man and woman. But they both come from soul, they both come from the same energetic whole, and it's kind of commonly accepted that there are some manifestations where we have been women and there are some where we have been men, which would allude to the fact that the soul is complete and it can manifest as one or the other. So that does mean that as souls we have the full behest of maleness and femaleness available to us. It's just that in one life we're obviously manifesting as one half of that. So the manifest sex isn't about gender, because while I'm here as a man and while others are here as a woman, I have the full behest of maleness and femaleness available to me. It's just that my particular tool set on the outside is the masculine one. Tricky.